Good morning everyone. This is the first video class for BBA second year student and the subject which I am going to teach is Human Resource Management. So first of all I am simply going to explain what are the various aspects of HRM that you all have in this subject. So in the first unit we have the basic meaning, definition of HRM and the functions of HRM. Then you have human resource planning, recruitment and selection. Human resource planning means how an organization plans how many number of people are required in the company, what kind of qualification and what kind of experience they need to have. So these things come under HRP. Then you have recruitment. Recruitment here means finding out suitable candidates and then encouraging them to apply for the job. There are various sources of recruitment like internal and external, which I am going to explain in this topic. In the last aspect of this unit, you have selection. Selection here means how an employee, how a candidate goes through various types of test and interview to prove his or her suitability for a particular job. So in the first unit, you will be studying about all these topics. In the second unit, you have training and development. Now, I am going to teach you why training is important from the organizational point of view and from the employee point of view. What are the various techniques of training? All those things we are going to study in the second unit. In the third unit, you have performance appraisal. Performance appraisal means evaluating the performance of an employee for reward purpose or for promotion purpose. So here we are going to study what are the various methods of various methods of performance appraisal and how it is conducted. Then you have job evaluation. Job evaluation means finding the worth of a job. Means how they are going to convert a job in monetary value. Means what is the monetary value of a job. That comes under job evaluation. Then we have wage and salary administration and incentive schemes. Wage and salary administration means how much amount of salary should be given, what should be the amount of wage, what are the rules and regulations which needs to be followed by every organization in order to fix an amount of salary or wage. Then you have incentive schemes. Incentives means giving something more than the salary and wages to the employees. What are the various schemes, how organization follow different types of scheme, that we are going to study in the third unit of HRM. In the fourth unit, you have promotion and transfer. Now here promotion means movement of an employee from a lower position to a higher position. And here we are going to study what is the basic criteria for promotion, what are the policies, principles, and same what is transfer, what are the policy behind the transfer. All these things we are going to study in the 4 units of HRM. In the last unit, I will be explaining case studies related to the various topics mentioned in the previous 4 units of the subject. So this is a brief introduction about HRM and what you all are going to study in this subject. Now let us begin with the first unit of HRM. The first topic, as it says, first topic is HRM, meaning, concept and the function of HRM. But before that, we need to understand what is human resource. Now before understanding about human resource management, you need to have a clear concept about human resource. Now human resource here means the workforce, the employees, the workers of an organization. Now in order to start a business or in order to run a company, many elements are required. Material is required, money is required, machineries are required, and human resources also required. So how human resource is more important than the others? Now human resource is the only resource which is going to efficiently manage all the other resources of the organization. Whether it is money, whether it is material or it is machinery. So the success of an organization depends upon human resource. If an organization has an efficient group of people, talented group of people, then it can easily become successful, it can survive in the market and it can give tough competition to the competitors. So that's why human resource is considered to be one of the most important factors of production or resource of an organization, because it has the capability of managing the entire organization and making the organization successful. Same way, if human resource is not efficient, if workforce is not efficient, not talented, it will lead to many problems and ultimately failure of the business. So the success, the survival of an organization depends upon human resource. Now, like I said, human resource is very important and it should be the priority of the organization, but it was not given that kind of priority which it actually should be given. It was also treated like any other resource. They were exploited, the workers were exploited, the employees were exploited. They used to work with a very low salary, very low wage, under a very difficult working condition, unhealthy working condition. So they were treated like money, material and other resources. They were not treated like human beings. But all these things changed after the Industrial Revolution. After the Industrial Revolution, organizations actually understood the importance, the value of HR, and then the concept of HRM was evolved. That is the management of human resource. As the name suggests, human resource management means efficient and effective management of human resource. Clear? So, as human being, we always have a tendency to work in groups. Even if we are working as individual, we have to become part of a team, we have to become part of a group. And in order to work in a team or a group, we need to maintain good and healthy work relationship with them. And how we are supposed to maintain a healthy work relationship? The way we project ourselves, the way we behave, the attitude that we have, the way we control our actions, that all things help us to maintain good working relationship. So HRM deals with creating healthy working relationship between the employees. You can also say that HRM involves planning, organizing, directing and controlling the functions of procurement, development, maintenance and compensation of the employees. It means it plans, organizes, directs and controls the human resource. In terms of procuring means appointing human resource, then developing them, providing them training, development sessions, training sessions, then maintaining them by providing healthy working environment, by motivating them, encouraging them, appreciating them through performance appraisal, promotion and everything, and then compensating them. Compensating means giving them what they deserve. They give they dedicatedly work in an organization, they contribute towards the success of the organization, they are loyal towards the organization, they are committed towards the organization, and for all these aspects they need to be compensated. Compensated in terms of salary, in terms of benefits, in terms of incentive scheme. So HRM deals with all the aspects which involves human resource, starting from the day a person joins an organization till the day when the person retires or leaves the organization. So HRM deals with managing people efficiently and effectively in order to achieve the organizational objective, in order to achieve the individual objective of an employee, as well as attaining the objective of the society. Now, as an employee, if you are working in the company, you also want to become successful, you want to get promotion, you want to have higher salary, you want to be in a higher designation, higher position, and this aspect is also also included in human resource management. Human resource management is not only concerned about the development of the company, but it is also concerned about the development, about the job satisfaction of the employee. That is the human approach of HRM. Human approach means it treats human resource as it should be treated. It gives them importance. It gives them what they deserve. It is concerned about their development, about their training, about their success and about their career. So, HRM is all about maintaining, motivating, developing, compensating the workforce of the entire organization. So, this is the meaning of HRM. Now, let us discuss some of the definitions of HRM. Now, Michael J. Jusius gave a definition that HRM is all about planning, organizing, directing, controlling the functions of procurement, development, compensation and maintenance of human resource for attaining three types of objectives: organizational objectives, then the objectives of the individuals and then the objectives of the society. So his definition focused on the development of the employees, development of the organization as well as the society. Same way, Filippo also used the same type of definition. In his definition, he just introduced a new word that is called reproduction. Reproduction means increase of human resource. It means expansion of an organization, diversification, expanding the business, appointing more and more number of people. So he introduced that one more word in the definition. So his definition also means planning, directing, controlling, planning, organizing, directing, controlling the procurement, development, maintenance, compensation as well as the reproduction of human resource for organizational benefit, for individual benefit as well as for the societal benefit. Michael Armstrong also said the same thing but from a different angle. According to him, HRM is a strategic approach and it involves in getting the commitment of the people towards the organization. He says that HRM is a strategic approach which focuses on getting the commitment, highest level of commitment from the people so that the company can become successful, so the individuals can also become successful as well as the objectives of the society can be achieved. So these three authors have given different point of views in their definition regarding HRM. So ultimately they all have the same meaning, that is the development and management of human resource. So this is the meaning, or you can say the meaning, introduction and concept and definition of human resource management. Now let us move on to the next topic of human resource management, that is the nature of HRM. Nature of human resource management. Now we cannot say that human resource management is restricted to the HR department. We know it exists in every level, it exists in each and every part of the organization, because employees work in every part of the organization, whether they are top executives, whether they belong to the middle level or they belong to the lower level. So in every level human resource is there, workforce is there. So HRM exists in each and every part of each and every level of the organization. So what is the first point? What is the first nature of HRM? The first one is complex dynamism. Complex means what? Complex means complicated, not easy to understand. What makes HRM a complex dynamism? Now, HRM deals with people, with human resource. Now, human resource is the most complicated resource. And why it is complicated? We cannot say that every human being is similar to other. We cannot treat a group of people in the same manner, because every individual have individual aspirations, different desires. Their attitudes are different, their behavior is different, their nature is different. So every human being needs to be treated in a different way. Some may be satisfied with higher salary, some may be satisfied with motivation, some may be satisfied with promotion even if the salary does not increase. So every employee is different from another. So that's why every employee needs to be focused, needs to be treated differently. That makes the job of an HR manager very difficult, because he needs to take one person as an individual, focus on him, what gives him job satisfaction, how to motivate him, how to develop him, how to encourage him to go through training and development program. So that's why it makes HRM a very complex dynamism. It has to deal with variety of people. Some people are more extrovert, they become a team member very easily. They talk too much, they socialize with people. Some people don't socialize, some people are spiritual. So because of this difference in nature of the human resource, it becomes very difficult for the organization to manage them. So that's why HRM is a very complex dynamism. Now what is the next point of the nature of HRM? That is, it is a social system. HRM is a system, social system. Now, why an organization is set up? To achieve its objectives, whatever goals it have, whatever the mission is that they want to achieve it. And in order to achieve it, they need a group of efficient people. Now, why this group of efficient people will work for the company if they don't benefit anything from it? They need to work as an individual and also as a group. But at the same time, they must be provided some kind of benefit in terms of motivation, in terms of job satisfaction, salary and everything. That makes HRM a social system. It creates a system which helps the organization to achieve its objectives as well as achieve the individual and group objectives of the organization, so that each and every element of the organization can become successful. The organization can become successful. See, in management you must have studied individual objectives, group objectives and organizational objectives. They have to be arranged in such a manner so that the attainment of individual and group objectives will lead to the attainment of organizational objectives. That is the aspect of social system. It needs to create a system where employees should be given the priority, where employees' behavior and attitude needs to be molded so that it is going to help the organization to achieve its objective. So it creates a social system within which an employee works as an individual, as a group member in order to achieve the organizational goals. Now the third point is HRM is a challenging task. Why it is challenging? Now you must have heard that the only thing which is constant is change. Change happens all the time and it will happen at any cost. Like now at present we are going through a huge change. But it is a normal thing. It is not a normal thing, but we have to move on with it. We cannot be too much influenced by the change. So from organization point of view, change here means change in the organizational structure, change in the organizational requirement, objectives and everything. Because change in the environment of the organization. Same way, and individual objectives can also change from time to time. So that makes it a very challenging task. Here it says that the HR manager must have proper knowledge about the external factor, about the internal factor, so that they can understand the change, they can make necessary changes in order to make the human resource more talented, more efficient, and also understand the organizational change which is going to affect the company either in a positive or in a negative way. So here it says that it is a very challenging task because it has to manage the organizational change as well as the individual change. Individual change means change in aspiration, desires and also how they want to become successful. So the HR manager must be very efficient to manage both the changes, to align both the changes so that the objectives of the organization can be achieved successfully. Now let's move on to the fourth point of nature of HRM. The fourth point says that it is a part of management discipline. Now, in first year you must have studied principle of management. So here it says that human resource management is a part of management discipline. It is not a separate subject. It is just a field of study. We cannot consider HRM as a completely different discipline. They both are interlinked, interconnected. So HRM has, management has major influence on human resource management because HRM follows the policies, the strategies, everything, the principles of management. So these are the things which influence human resource management. So HRM is an important part of management discipline. It is not a separate discipline because it draws heavily from the principles, objectives, strategies and policies of management. The management which is considered as a separate discipline. Okay. Now let us move on to the fifth point of nature. Action oriented. Now here why it is considered action oriented? Because HRM feels that whenever there is a problem, it needs to be solved. If it is not solved at that point of time, it will become a huge problem. It will create more problems which may be difficult to handle later. So here it says that whenever a problem arises, whenever there is a conflict between between two employees, or there is a conflict between management or workers, or if there is some kind of misunderstanding, it needs to be solved at that point of time. So it will not lead to a huge problem later. So that's why it involves or it is focused on action. Action is the most important thing. So whatever problem arises, it needs to be solved. So that's why it is action oriented. Then the next point is development oriented. Like I said, HRM involves humane approach. Humane approach means involving the development, the benefits and the betterment of human resource. Now here in this point, development oriented, HRM focuses on developing the workforce, the employees, the workers, so that they can become successful in their individual careers. They can achieve success, they can learn more things, new skills, knowledge and everything. So this aspects involves training and development program. The company provides training to polish, to improve the skills and knowledge of the employees so that they can do their work efficiently, and which will lead to the attainment of the organizational goals. At the same time, development is also very important. Development in terms of making a person talented enough, efficient enough so that he can move on to a higher position later. So this aspect of HRM involves the development of human resource, providing them proper training, thinking about their career, creating career plans for them, career path for them. So it involves in the ultimate success of an individual employee. Okay. Now let us consider the other nature of HRM. So the next point is, the seventh point is integrating mechanism. Integrating mechanism here means that HRM involves all the all the departments, all the levels of the organization. It means it creates a connection between every department and every level. Like I said, all the departments of the organization are interdependent and interlinked, and they can work efficiently if they have good relation between them. So HRM involves or HRM includes creating good relationship between different levels and different departments of the organization, so the entire organization will run smoothly and efficiently. So the next point of nature of human resource management, that it is a process. Process in terms of it includes various activities and sub-activities like I said, recruitment, selection, HRP, human resource planning, training, development, performance appraisal. All these things are involved in the process. All these things, HRM contains all these activities. So it is a process which involves various functions that start with human resource planning, and there are many other functions like recruitment, selection, promotion, performance appraisal, industrial relation. So that's why it is considered as a process. So the next point is HRM is a continuous process. Continuous means we cannot say that once we have managed the employees, once the employees are satisfied, once the employees are motivated, we don't need to motivate them again. No, we need to motivate them again, we need to encourage them again. So it is a continuous process. Continuous process in other sense also, because of the changes, HRM, the management of human resource, needs to be evaluated again and again. The policies, the strategies of managing human resource needs to be evaluated to incorporate necessary changes due to the changes in the situation. So that makes HRM a continuous process. It is a never-ending process because human resource exists in every level of the organization. It needs to be motivated and managed continuously till the existence of the organization. Now, the next point is it is an art as well as science. Now this thing you must have studied in Principle of Management, like management is art as well as science. HRM is also science, can be considered as science and can be also considered as art. Now how it is a science? Because it is a systematic body of knowledge, it has some techniques, it has some principles, it has some policies and strategies. This is the science portion of HRM. This makes HRM science. But what makes HRM art? The application of these policies and strategies, how it is applied by the manager, HR manager and the organization. That makes HRM as an art. So HRM is an art as well as a science. Now let us discuss the next point. People oriented. Like I said, we are working in a group, we are working in a team. That's why we have to maintain good relationship between each other. And HRM helps us to do that. It is people oriented. It not only focuses on the development of the people, but it also focuses on creating good relation between employee, employer-employee and the management and the workers. So that's why it is people oriented. It literally manages the relationship, creates a healthy working environment, provides proper working conditions so that healthy working relationship can be created. So that's why it is also considered as people oriented. Now the next point. Goal oriented. Goal oriented here means, like I said, three types of goals: individual, organizational and societal. So it focuses on achievement of individual goals, then achievement of group goals, then achievement of organizational goals and then achievement of the societal goals. And all these things are possible through proper management of human resource. So HRM is goal oriented because it deals with it involves achievement of individual objectives, group and organizational objectives as well as the societal objectives. The 13th point is pervasive. Pervasive means it exists everywhere. It is required in all the kinds of organization, not only in companies, not only in factories, but also in government organization, educational organization, HRM needs to be existed in everywhere. It needs to it needs to be implemented in all types of organization. We cannot say that HRM is only for some limited number of organization, limited number of sector. No, it is required in every organization because every organization has human resource. So wherever there is human resource, we need to have human resource management in that organization. Now the last point of HRM is it is interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary means HRM involves or it draws heavily from other disciplines of studies like economics, sociology, anthropology, psychology, because it deals with human resource. Now human resource need to be compensated, and this compensation must be enough to have a good livelihood or must be able to have a proper standard of living. That's why it needs economics. Psychology, obviously it is required because they need to understand the mindset of human resource, how they are working, how they are operating, how they are supposed to be motivated. So it involves various other disciplines. So this is all about the HRM meaning, definition and the nature of HRM. In the next class, I am going to explain the various functions of HRM, which are the most important element, or we can say the most important question of the first unit. Okay, so in next session I am going to explain the functions of HRM. Thank you.